Men and women can't be friends because the sex part always gets in the way.
Harry has this worldview,
I never had a relationship with a woman that didn't involve sex.
which is women are sex objects.
She actually meowed.
He's hurting her and he's hurting himself.
You made a woman meow?
Yes! Yes!
He thinks she's the one exception instead of maybe all women have value.
You know, I hate that kind of remark.
She lies in ways to get men to stay. He lies to get women into bed and then he's out.
You went to bed with her?
Neither of them are being authentic with anybody except for each other, which is why they're falling in love with each other, because love is authenticity.
You make it impossible for me to hate you!
Why is it one of the greatest monologues ever?
I really hate you.
Because loving is knowing.
This is one of the best romantic comedies ever made.
Hello and welcome to Cinema Therapy. I'm Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist who loves movies. This is...
Gandalf. He's a dog.
No, that's Gandalf.
Oh, I'm Alan Seawright. I'm a professional filmmaker who needs therapy.
Yes, you do, because you don't even know the difference between you and your dog.
Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture.
Today we're going to be doing movie couples therapy on When Harry Met Sally, which was a movie hole for me. Was it a movie hole for you?
It was a movie hole for me. I have now filled my hole.
Why? I knew that was coming and I still... I had never seen this, and it's now one of my favorite romantic comedies.
It's really, really good. Turns out it's a classic for a reason.
Written by Nora Ephron, directed by Rob Reiner. Let's take a look at friendship versus sexual love. The big question of the film is, can friendship survive sex? And what's the interplay between romantic love, sexual love, companion love, and just love?
Let's find out.
Men and women can't be friends because the sex part always gets in the way.
That's not true. I have a number of men friends and there is no sex involved.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I
You
do.
only think you do.
You're saying I'm having sex with these men without my knowledge?
No, what I'm saying is they all want to have sex with you.
They do not.
Do too.
They do not.
Do too.
How do you know?
Because no man can be friends with a woman that he finds attractive. He always wants to have sex with her.
So you're saying that a man can be friends with a woman he finds unattractive?
No, you pretty much want to nail him too.
Oh my gosh. I started this movie, and I didn't like the characters.
Yeah, I didn't like either of them.
And turns out that's a feature, not a bug. It's by design.
Yep.
Because this is a story about growth.
Yeah.
These characters aren't perfect for each other. They don't fall in love because they're destined to fall in love. In fact, they're both messes.
Yeah, he's a total sleaze. She's super uptight.
And if they got into a relationship now, it would be a disaster. This is about two people maturing through life together to a point where they're ready to have something beautiful.
Right.
But first we have to get there. So Harry, kind of a college sleazeball and doesn't value women beyond sex.
Right.
He's a very romantic guy, even at the beginning, but it's all sex-driven. It's all about getting into bed. And Sally is so falsely positive.
Yes. Basically, I'm a happy person.
So am I.
And I don't see that there's anything wrong with that.
Of course not. You're too busy being happy.
She reminds me of Joy at the beginning of Inside Out.
Yes.
Everything is good. I can handle anything. She doesn't let herself feel or express sadness or anger. The closest she gets is exasperation. And then she just lets it roll off her back. Why? Because she's going to face the world and be positive about it. They're both pretty shallow at this point.
Well, you know, at least I got the house.
And this is what everybody says to me. At least I got the house. But come on, how hard is it to buy a house?
Incredibly hard. You know this, especially if you're drowning in debt.
Okay, but PDS Debt could help you with that.
That is true. PDS Debt goes beyond the numbers to understand your unique financial situation and craft a personalized debt plan just for you.
They have help for people with personal debt, credit card debt, collections, and medical bills.
So what's the statute of limitations on getting this help?
None, and there is no minimum credit score required.
So PDS Debt offers alternative solutions to getting debt free
They help you save more and pay off your debt faster.
and keep your money where it belongs, in your pocket.
They have an A+ rating on the Better Business Bureau, thousands of 5-star reviews on Google, and they have a 5-star rating on Trustpilot.
Well, that's because PDS Debt has helped thousands of people to get out of debt.
I wish they'd been available to me about 10 years ago. When I was drowning in debt, had collectors breathing down my neck, and all my credit cards were maxed out. Okay, bye.
Listen, you are only 30 seconds away from being debt-free, my friend.
All right.
Go to pdsdebt.com/cinema to get a free assessment and to find the best option for you right now.
That's pdsdebt.com/cinema.
pdsdebt.com/cinema.
You know, the first time we met, I really didn't like you that much.
Years later.
I didn't like you.
Yeah, you did. You were just so uptight then. You're much softer now.
You know, I hate that kind of remark. It sounds like a compliment, but really it's an insult.
Okay, you're still as hard as nails.
I just didn't want to sleep with you, and you had to write it off as a character flaw instead of dealing with the possibility that it might have something to do with you.
What's the statute of limitations on apologies?
10 years.
Ooh, I can just get it in under the wire.
So I love the accountability.
Yep.
I also love when she calls him rightly, I didn't want to sleep with you, and you tried to write it off as a character
Would you
flaw.
like to have dinner?
Are we becoming friends now?
Well, yeah.
Great. A woman friend. You know, you may be the first attractive woman I have not wanted to sleep with in my entire life.
That's wonderful, Harry.
Okay. I love filmmaking flourishes. I love directors like Steven Spielberg who tell the story with a camera.
Yeah.
And I love punching in on super close-ups and doing what you need to do to really use cinematic technique to tell a story. I also love a great script delivered by two good actors and a director who literally just puts a camera on a tripod and goes, act.
Yeah, go.
It works.
Yeah.
You don't need more than that.
The screenplay is one of the smartest screenplays I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And you brought up in one of our Crazy Rich Asians episodes that there are people in the comments who think that we don't like romantic comedies. Not true. We love romantic comedies the same way Anton Ego loves food. If I don't love it, I don't swallow. I think I'm getting lost. But the point is, I like it when it's
This is filling
good.
Jono's movie hole, and his movie hole is his mouth.
Not like this. Not like this.
He's swallowing this movie. That's what's happening right now.
The point I'm trying to make is that we love well-written, well-performed rom-coms, especially when what they have to say about relationships is so worthwhile.
Yes.
Harry has this worldview of women, and he's been limited by it for so long, which is women are sex objects.
Yeah.
In his mind, women are still women, but in terms of how he relates to them, it's sex or nothing, because
Right.
I'm not going to have any real friendships. He sees this as a real moment of growth, but he's still hampered. Like, he thinks she's the one exception, instead of maybe all women have value. And filling your life with amazing women and not trying to get them into bed would benefit you as a human being. Just saying. This is the thing about these characters is neither of them are bad. They just start immature and we watch them mature.
Yeah.
Harry's first big step into that in this scene was when he says, in a very Harry way, but he says, what is the statute of limitations on apologies? Mm-hmm. In other words, I'm sorry for seeing you that way, for misjudging you.
And he accepts influence when she says, I didn't want to sleep with you, and you saw it as a character flaw. He goes, oh. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not good. Okay, I got to apologize for that.
Yeah.
But he turns it into a joke because he's Harry.
Yeah. Most people aren't all good or all bad, or all mature or all immature. We're all on a spectrum, we're all on a journey. And that's what makes these characters so rich, is because they feel very human. They don't
Yep.
feel like caricatures.
Why can't you give me credit for this? This is a big thing for me. I never had a relationship with a woman that didn't involve sex. I feel like I'm growing.
Are you finished?
Hey, I got a whole stack of quarters and I was here first.
We're not.
Was two.
We're not.
Was two.
Big jerk.
Little creep. Where was it?
I'm growing.
Yeah. It's very freeing. I can say anything to her.
Are you saying you can say things to her you can't say to me?
No, it's just different. It's a whole different perspective. I get the woman's point of view on things. She tells me about the men that she goes out with, and I can talk to her about the women that I see.
You tell her about other women.
Yeah, like the other night. I made love to this woman, and it was so incredible. I took her to a place that wasn't human. She actually meowed.
You made a woman meow?
Yeah, that's the point. I can say these things to her. And the great thing is, I don't have to lie because I'm not always thinking about how to get her into bed. I can just be myself.
You made a woman meow?
I love that that whole conversation just sailed right by his friend. He's like, I made a woman meow? This is the difference between a male perspective and a female perspective on what's going on right here.
Just see the friend Anakin Skywalkering over there. Is it possible to learn this power? Right? Like, you made a woman meow? How can I do that?
Not from a Jedi.
Now, of course, we, the audience, know, at least hopefully, something that Harry doesn't, is that he's stumbling into the foundations of a healthy, lasting relationship without even realizing it.
He's accidentally growing up. Whoops.
Yeah, because he talks about, I could tell her anything, and the best part is I don't have to lie because I'm not trying to get her into bed. Okay, hang on, Harry.
Yeah, let's unpack that.
First of all, you don't need to lie to get women into bed. There are women who aren't interested in romance or long-term relationships, and if you're just forthcoming that you just want a casual sexual encounter, sure, you'll have people turn you down.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, I don't even think most women would see you as a cad if you at least own it. But what Harry's doing is he's deceiving women into thinking he's romantically interested, that he cares about them, and then he sleeps with them, and then he drops them, which is one of my least favorite things that people do, but especially men. Like, you're making the rest of us look bad.
Yeah.
But the whole thing about I can just be myself, and I really care about her perspective. Harry thinks, well, oh, this is what being friends with a woman is like. Yes.
That's what being friends is like.
And this is what a relationship is like.
Oh.
And what he's failing to see, and he's going to wake up to slowly across the film, is that love is authenticity. Mm-hmm. Which is why they're falling in love with each other without even realizing it, because love is honesty, it's being real, it's being vulnerable, and then being accepted, wanted, desired, and welcomed as you are. And we see, famously, that Harry's not the only one who lies in relationships. Harry lies about relationships to get sex. Sally lies about sex to have relationships in this movie's most famous scene.
One of the most famous movie scenes of all time.
Yeah.
But it's only over on our Patreon. It's going to be on the director's cut of this episode. You get an extended ad-free director's cut if you're on our Patreon, because we would get demonetized if we talk about it here on YouTube.
It's a little too spicy for...
frank discussion of spicy topics.
Harry, you're gonna have to try and find a way of not expressing every feeling that you have every moment that you have them.
Oh, really?
Yes. There are times and places for things.
Well, the next time you're giving a lecture series on social graces, would you let me
She's
know?
projecting because she doesn't express what she's
Hey.
feeling almost ever. Like, actually feeling, getting
anger out
vulnerable.
on me.
And he's
I think I'm
nonstop
entitled
vulnerable.
to throw a little anger your way, especially when I'm being told how to live my life by Miss Hospital Corners.
What's that supposed to mean?
I mean, nothing bothers you. You never get upset about anything.
Don't be ridiculous.
What? You never get upset about Joe. I never see that back up on you. How is that possible? Don't you experience any feelings of loss?
I don't have to take this crap from you.
If you're so over Joe, why aren't you seeing anyone?
I see people!
See people. Have you slept with one person since you broke up with Joe?
What the hell does that have to do with anything?
Yeah.
That will prove I'm over Joe because I somebody.
It's a valid
Harry, you're
point.
gonna have to move
Yeah.
back to New Jersey because you slept with everybody in New York, and I don't see that turning Helen into a faint memory for you.
Yeah.
Besides,
ouch.
I will make love to somebody when it is making love, not the way you do it like you're out for revenge or something.
Ooh.
Are you finished now?
Yes.
Can I say something?
Yes.
We're waiting for a big comeback.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
This is lovely.
This is a really beautiful scene.
Like, I was so waiting for, because what we've seen from Harry throughout is he's always got a one-liner.
Yeah.
Right? He's always got a comeback. He's always got a joke.
And it's a way to keep guarded.
Yep. And he's not doing that now.
Yeah.
I crossed a line, and I have to apologize.
Yeah.
And it's just beautiful.
And why did he apologize? Because they've had plenty of arguments. He's not apologizing that they're arguing. They argue all the time. It's part of their banter.
That's their whole shtick.
He's apologizing because he knows that he said things specifically to hurt her. And that she didn't deserve them because he was hurting about somebody else entirely and he just directed it at her.
Yeah.
He also apologized because he cares deeply about her and her happiness and her feelings. If I had these two in my office for therapy, I actually would have let this play out.
Yeah.
At a certain moment as a couples therapist, you can tell, oh, this is just going to keep ramping up.
This is spiraling.
Because sometimes people need to get things out, say what they need to say, and then like here, once it's all out, it's like, I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry that I hurt you. I'm sorry that I lashed out. And they work through it. So I actually would not have intervened. I would have waited until it was done. I would have waited till that hug, and then I would have kind of gently inserted myself into the conversation, say, I just witnessed something really beautiful, you guys, and I'd tell them what I saw. But then I'd highlight, Sally, why do you think it bothers you that Harry says what he's feeling all the time? And I'm not trying to steer her towards it, but what is going on with her is that it's because she does the opposite and it rubs her the wrong way. Sally is unfailingly positive, as Harry points out.
And I said, well, I guess it's over, and he left. And the thing is, I feel really fine.
You don't seem to feel sad or angry about anything. You just try and make the best of it and soldier on. And what makes something optimism and positivity that's healthy versus optimism and positivity that's not is the lack of acknowledgement.
And every time I think about it, I am more and more convinced that I did the right thing.
Boy, you sound really healthy.
Yeah.
I am definitely, like Waymond and Everything Everywhere All at Once.
You are extremely optimistic and positive.
And for me, that's a survival skill, right? But if I do that without acknowledging, without feeling, without letting the pain settle in, without having a good cry, without saying, okay, I am going to make the best of this, but this really sucks. If I don't have that authenticity, it poisons the well and I can't truly heal because I'm just doing a Band-Aid on a bullet wound.
Right.
And for Harry's part, Sally's got him dead to rights. You can't heal yourself through sex. I'm sorry.
It doesn't work, never has, never will.
Yeah. Now, sex as a facet of connection, can be healing. But sex in and of itself is just trying to dull pain with pleasure, but it doesn't address the source of the pain, so the pain's going to keep coming.
Yeah, that's just trying to get rid of it with entertainment.
Yeah. Well, this is where the Billy Crystal tissue meme, comes from.
Oh, yeah.
She works in his office. She's a paralegal. Her name is Kimberly. He just met her. She's supposed to be his transitional person. She's not supposed to be the one.
Was this before Rebound was a thing?
I don't know.
All this time, I've been saying that he didn't want to get married. But the truth is, he didn't want to marry me. He didn't love me.
Harry's a healthy masculinity icon here. Watch this.
If you could take him back right now, would you?
No! But why didn't he want to marry me? What's the matter with me?
Nothing.
I'm difficult.
You're challenging.
I'm too structured. I'm completely closed off.
But in a good way.
No, I drove him away. And I'm gonna be 40.
When?
Someday.
In 8 years.
But it's there. It's just sitting there like this big dead end. And it's not the same for men. Charlie Chaplin had babies when he was 73.
Yeah, but he was too old to pick him up.
That's wonderful.
Gosh dang it, Meg Ryan.
It's gonna be okay.
No wonder you were America's sweetheart for friggin' 30 years.
Oh, go ahead. It's not one of my favorites anyway. It's gonna be okay.
Now, again, healthy masculinity icon. There is a mistake here at the end, but
yeah.
Okay. I'll make some tea.
Harry, could you just hold me a little longer?
Oh, sure. Oh.
there is nothing sleazy about Harry here. He's not here to take advantage of her. He's not here to sleep with her. He's there literally just listening and loving and being compassionate. But this all just kind of happens naturally. And we'll talk about why it's a mistake.
Yeah, and Billy Crystal did a great job of playing like, oh, that was not oh, but oh, okay, here we go.
Now here's Harry's hang-up. When I say be careful that you're...
Are you comfortable?
That is such a great shot.
Sure.
Well, and she's so content And knowing Sally, it's not just because she presumably had an orgasm or faked one. It's because she feels loved.
Yeah.
So Harry's hang-up is what I talk about all the time. Be careful not to let your subjective perception be confused with objective reality.
Right.
Harry's subjective perception is that men and women cannot be friends because sex gets in the way.
Right.
He takes a step out of that and says, no, men and women can be friends. Sally's my friend.
As long as there's no sex.
As long as there's no sex. Because now suddenly everything is murky and everything's confusing, and now we don't see each other as just, I see you, you see me, we love and accept each other. Now it's about sex. Why? Because sex for him has always been tied to using people.
It's a competition or something. It's weird.
He gets in his own head and freaks out and leaves. And the really sad part is he just made love to the woman he actually loves.
Yeah.
This could be the start of something absolutely beautiful, and he torpedoes it. Why? Because he's hung up on a thinking error, is what we call it in therapy.
How was it?
The during part was good.
I thought it was good.
But then I felt
But
suffocated.
then I guess it wasn't.
Jesus, I'm sorry.
The
I
worst.
had to get out of there.
He just disappeared.
I feel so bad.
I'm so embarrassed.
I don't blame you.
That's horrible.
I think I'm coming down with
I
something.
think I'm catching a cold.
Now, to be fair, he would have been a better friend in that scenario had he said, wow, okay, you're feeling really, really vulnerable right now.
Yeah.
Is this what you really want?
Yeah.
Before just falling into bed with her.
This is something that I learned in graduate school, which is when it comes to relationships, you want to decide, not slide. A lot of people just kind of slide into relationships because something like this happens. There's an emotional moment.
Sure.
There's a physical connection. Suddenly you're in bed with somebody, and then you wake up and go, oh.
I guess maybe we try to make this work
Yeah,
now?
are we dating now? Because we slid into it without stopping and pausing to consider, is this what we really want?
Yeah.
So decide, not slide would be what you were talking about, or even more like going even further and saying, hey, turns out I am sexually attracted to you, Sally. And turns out it's not just that. I find myself wanting to be with you. But I also know there's a lot of emotion here. I'm going to sleep on the couch. I'm going to make breakfast. I'm here for you. Let's see how we feel about all this in the morning.
But that's the, perfectly healthy version. That's not the dramatically fun version. So let's see the rest of the drama.
Don't be afraid.
Well, she's mad because he left.
He did what he always does. He got up early and left.
And now he's trying to make it up to her, but he ghosted her and she's mad at him.
Hello? Hi. I didn't know that you were there. What are you doing?
I was just on my way out.
Where are you going?
What do you want, Harry?
Nothing. I just called to say I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sorry for what? Go further.
Come on.
I gotta go.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
You don't make her feel safe
What are
unless
you
you
doing for New
specifically
Year's?
address
Are you going to the Tyler's party? Because I don't have a date.
what you did and what you're going
And
to
if
do
you don't have a
differently.
date, we always said that
And
if
now
we
you're
didn't
changing
want
the
to set a
subject to the
date,
New Year's Eve party.
we could be together for New Year's, and if you could, why don't
I can't do this anymore. I am not your consolation prize. Goodbye.
Oof.
Not what he meant, but it's easy to read it that way.
I love the way he plays that. You could see regret that he's hurt her, but also kind of waking up to she's not.
She's not a consolation prize.
I was going to say she's the prize, but she is not a prize to be won. And neither is Jasmine. But you know what I mean.
You get it.
Yeah.
How dare you?
The issue with Harry is when he has something to complain about, he's very open and vulnerable about his feelings. He'll talk all day about something he's complaining about.
It's just like most of the time you go to bed with someone, and then she tells you all her stories, you tell all your stories. Well, with Sally and me, we'd already heard each other's stories. So once we went to bed, we didn't know what we were supposed to do, you know?
Sure, Harry.
But when it comes to, I messed up, and here's what I really feel about you, and here's what I really want, that's a vulnerability that scares him. That's a vulnerability that he's unpracticed in.
I did not go over there that night to make love to you. That is not why I went there. But you looked up at me with these big weepy eyes. Don't go home tonight, Harry. Hold me a little longer, Harry. What was I supposed to do?
What are you saying? You took pity on me?
No, I was...
You.
And it's costing both of them right now.
Why do I feel really called out right now?
Because she picks up the phone. So that's a little win. And then he says, I'm sorry. That's also a little win, but she's waiting for, okay, sorry for what?
Full accountability.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Harry. I know it's New Year's Eve. I know you're feeling lonely, but you just can't show up here, tell me you love me, and expect that to make everything all right.
Yeah?
It doesn't work this way.
Well, how does it work?
I don't know.
Here we go. We're getting ready for one of the most quoted film
I love that you get cold when it's 71 degrees.
monologues of all time.
I love that it takes you an hour and a half to order a sandwich. I love that you get a little crinkle above your nose when you're looking at me like I'm nuts. I love that after I spend a day with you, I can still smell your perfume on my clothes. And I love that you are the last person I want to talk to before I go to sleep at night. And it's not because I'm lonely, and it's not because it's New Year's Eve. I came here tonight because when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible.
You see? That is just
One of the greatest
like
monologues
you,
of all
Harry.
time.
You say things like that and you
Freaking
make
get it, Nora Ephron.
impossible for me to hate you. And I hate you, Harry. I really hate you.
So, why is it one of the greatest monologues ever? Because loving is knowing.
Yep. This movie's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
It's so damn good. I'm so bummed that I waited, you know, I was, 8 when this came out? Obviously, it was inappropriate for an 8-year-old. But, like, I was 44 years old when I watched this.
Yeah, me too.
I missed out on this for a long time.
Well, and every genre has, like, what you hold up as the best examples of the genre. I would put this at the top of rom-coms.
This is one of the best romantic comedies ever made.
Mm-hmm. As I was saying, loving is knowing. And she thinks, okay, it's New Year's, you're lonely, I'm your consolation prize, I'm your fallback. And he's like, no. And then when he lists all the specific things about her, this is why we say there's no such thing as love at first sight. There's infatuation, there's attraction, there's connection and a spark that can blossom into love.
Yeah.
But loving is knowing. To be loved, you have to be seen. To be seen, you have to be honest about who you are. And these characters start off guarded and full of hot air in Harry's case.
Pig-headed and kind of dumb.
But hiding and posturing, and in his case, lying so he can get into bed. In her case, lying to get people to stay. And it isn't until you're honest and open and truly yourself that you can allow another person to love you.
Yep.
And that's why when we talk about we love good romantic comedies teach us something real about love and loving and how it actually works.
Or they're just super cute and fun. That's good too.
And in this case, it's both.
It is both.
But I would be proud.
Two-part day
Two parties.
of your pecan pie.
Of your pecan pie.
Pecan pie.
Pecan pie.
Pecan pie.
Pecan pie.
So until next time.
Oh.
Are you okay?
Oh.
No. Stop.
And watch movies.
Okay, I'll have what he's having.
Hey, we want to thank our patrons, people who get extended, director's cut, commercial-free, early episodes. This one's very long. People with names like
Chase Munoz,
Gavin Scheffner,
Wob
Matt, Chaotic Good with zeros,
and Jessica.
You're all great. We don't have to fake it with you.
Oh my gosh!